Good afternoon, Donna.
Hi.
I want to thank you for taking time to come in and talk with me today. First, my name is Dr. Harris, Dr. Rodney Harris, and I am here to talk with you at the Born Free Clinic, particularly about your mental health symptoms. And particularly, I know you are seeing someone for your substance abuse treatment, and our philosophy here is that there are two parts of your treatment. There's the mental health part, and then there's also the substance abuse part. And we work as a multidisciplinary team to look at, both parts of you. So, in looking and exploring that, and like I said, I know you're already seeing someone else for the substance abuse part. For the mental health, as we look and we explore that, and I know you've already had an assessment completed and been through all of that. What is apparent or what is transparent for you? What kind of comes out for you as you think about that part of Donna?
So you're not talking about like the pills and things, the use of that, or to take the edge off. You're talking about like what maybe why I want to do that.
Well, that might be a part of it, or Donna, it might be around what happened as you started to begin the pills, as you started to use the pills. So, was there an event, an incident that triggered or started the process of your using the pills, or was, their history? Or, so it may mean that you have to go back and think about that a little bit. But was there incident or events that were connected to that to kind of help you understand that? And so that's how we might be able to look at the mental health part of that. So that's what I'm interested in exploring and talking with you about.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you first. It's common in my family to to use things to handle stress and by that I mean like medications and stuff. Everybody does. I mean that's just a common part of my family. So I mean, I know it's increased, but I'm not entirely sure that I agree that there's a huge problem there. But I guess, I mean, I did start taking more, and what you said, think about what might have led to increasing it, or me taking more, or is that what we're talking, right? Is that what we're saying?
hmm Well, let me ask you another question. What does when I say the word trauma, um, does that have any meaning for you? And I know in completing assessment, they ask you some specific questions around trauma. And I know you gave a couple of events and you said that there were some traumatic events in your life. Talk to me about some of these events.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Being hurt, what's pain and that
hmm
kind. Well, I'll tell you, the last year, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody is aware of the, constant tension in the country and the just everything that's happened. There's just been protests and with Trump taking office and a lot of arguments between conservatives and liberals. Unfortunately, I'm a liberal in a completely conservative family. And it's gotten very intense. I mean, we've always been intense and heated, but now
hmm
it's all feels like all out war. Like there are really lines that are being drawn suddenly, and you know that there's going to be things that happen that can't be taken back, and that's very upsetting to think that you're going to lose part of your family, and it's brought out some ugliness, things that I didn't know about my family. You
hmm
know, these are the people I grew up with. This is my mom, my dad, my sister, her family. My kids, I don't know if I mentioned it, but my kids are mixed. And some of the racial things that have come up have just been horrible. And I had no idea some of these people in my life thought this way or felt this way. And I mean, to me, it was really triggered by, the change in the country is, Trump took office. It was like an invitation for ugliness to surface. So I guess, no, I know that part of that, some of it right there is just having the hurt and pain of knowing that these are my loved ones. It's like, do you understand when you talk about this, when you talk about race issues or even LGBT, I've got a spectrum there as well, that you're talking about my family.
Right.
And
Right.
it's yours, I know you're my family too, but you're talking about my kids.
Right.
Uh,
So,
so yeah, it's upsetting. It's
right.
upsetting, and to talk to my kids and have them finally kind of coming out and going, "Hey, we've always felt a little, you know, denied here," or they call it whitewash is what they told me. We felt whitewashed, because well, you're white too is all the time. It's just a mess. Yeah, I mean,
Donna,
it's
can I get you to do something for me? Can I get you to do something for me? Can I get you just to breathe for a second?
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know I get to
Yeah.
go in.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. Yeah. I know it's so, yeah, it's overwhelming for you. And I want you to notice something else you did as you were talking about your family. One of the things you did is you took your hand, you touched your heart. And so each time you would say something about your family, so as much as you, in some ways, feel disconnected from them, each time you would mention your family, you would take your hand and you would put to your heart that there is a heart connection and that your heart is hurting by what you are experiencing, that this situation, this conflict, that it is causing your heart to hurt, to hear these things that your family is saying, to see these lines being drawn, to see, not only on a national scale and a local scale, but it does happen in your home and it touches your heart and it hurts you to the core. And that these people that you love and you care about, that they're saying these things and you are struggling to deal with it. Now, let me just ask you this. What is your heart saying about it? Talk to me and tell me what your heart is saying about it.
No, you got it right. It hurts. It hurts. And you know what? I mean, I know I kind of blew off the substance use, because there's drinking, and of course, like I said, there's a fact my family's always used medication. But come to think of it, I mean, especially in the last 6 months, particularly, every time I've got to talk to any of them, that requires at least a drink, and I want to have a drink after, and I know that day that there's definitely I'm gonna be using more medication than normal, and it is like because it hurts so bad to think that these people that I love so much that really you think this way, this is what you believe. Do you understand who you're talking about or what you're talking about? Um, you're right. It does. It hurts my heart so bad to see so much friction. Um, and not just for me, but for my kids, for
Hmm.
my sister's kids. Their interaction is strained now, and you just hate to see it. You just hate to see that. Oh, I've got a 2-year-old grandson, and I want him to have that whole family experience of us all together. He's got every house that loves him, and he's welcome to. But right now, we're so fractured, we can't all be together, and I want that for him because that was what I grew up having. And I want that for him. And it hurts to think that might not happen. That might not be the case. And it's because of this kind of situation.
Yeah. That this also has divided your family and that your
Yep.
grandson won't get the benefit of seeing his entire family because of
Mm-hmm.
this incident. And when you think of that, that's one of the triggers that may even cause you to think about this and you want to drink or use some of the substance. So that triggers and pushes you back and that makes you go to that. I get it.
And it's all over the news as well. And so it's kind of hard to escape at the moment, even still. Honestly, I would never believe that this type of thing at a national level, this an election, a political party, that kind of thing could cause uh, such an insane amount of division. Um, it's just, my mom grew up in the 60s, and that was
Hmm.
a very divisive too. And she used to tell me how bad it could get,
Hmm.
with it. Nothing she's described is as bad as what I'm actually seeing
Hmm.
now that's going on and experience. I mean, and maybe it's because I'm experiencing it firsthand that it's no joke. This is sister against sister. This is mother against child. This is, uh, and like I said, just the ugliness, just that has kind of came out. And I don't know, maybe it's better that I know that this has happened, and this is what's kind of under the surface. But I got to be honest, it doesn't feel better right now.
Hmm. Hmm. I guess one of the parts is that you never expected that some of this stuff that was on the inside, some of the things that you're hearing them say, and some of the behaviors that you see them exhibiting, that you never knew that this was on the inside of them. And to see the displayed has caused you to question these relationships, and it's caused you to pull back from them. And you don't want to pull back. I heard you say it's sister against sister and daughter against mother, and you in some ways that hurts your heart again,
It
that
does.
hurts your heart again, that you've had to do that, for people that you've been close to all your life, and you're having to pull back, and that's causing you pain.
It absolutely is, and some of it is even things we have visited. I mean, I grew up in the South, so racism has
Hmm.
been alive and well down here the entire time. And having mixed kids, I was just didn't have anything to do with my family. I was cut off from them for a while when I had my kids initially, but I thought the issues were issues we'd be back past a long time ago. My kids are
Hmm.
grown now. You know, they're 27, 24, or excuse me, 25 and 23, and it's like, okay, now I'm seeing this, the comments you're making. Do you understand that? Do you understand what you're doing right now? You're talking about my kids, the kids that slept over at your house, and yet you don't seem to be able to apply that, and it's just staggering how painful it is. And then, like I said, this has also brought up a chance for them to be really open and honest with us about what they've experienced and how they felt in our family in terms of their race, of them not being able to really talk about some of the treatment they've had in the community, in our society. And it because they felt like every time they tried to mention it, well, you're white too. That doesn't really apply to you. I didn't